Whiskers, and the catch of the day. The morning sun painted the sky in soft hues of orange and pink, as Whiskers, the tabby cat, stretched inside his cozy tent, letting out a long, satisfied yawn. Today was the day he could feel it. He was going to catch the biggest fish of his life, and tonight, he'd feast like a king. Dressed in his favorite fish-patterned pajamas, Whiskers padded over to the fire pit, where last night's embers still glowed faintly. He poured himself a warm mug of milk from his thermos and took a deep breath of the crisp morning air. The river sparkled in the distance, calling him to adventure. With a flick of his tail, he quickly changed into his fishing outfit. Green hip waders, a red and black plaid flannel shirt, and a fishing vest packed with tiny tools and bait. Finally, he grabbed his wide-brimmed fishing hat, decorated with colorful lures from past fishing trips. Slipping his fly rod over his shoulder and grabbing his tackle box, Whiskers made his way down the wooded path to the river. His whiskers twitched in excitement as he reached the water's edge, his sharp eyes scanning for the perfect spot. The river was alive with movement, small ripples, darting fish, and the occasional splash in the distance. He carefully selected one of his best hand-tied flies, a shimmering green lure he had crafted the night before. With a practiced flick of his paw, Whiskers sent the line soaring through the air, landing the fly perfectly on the water's surface. He waited. The river gurgled softly around him, birds chirped in the trees, and then a sudden tug. His line went taut, and the water exploded in a frenzy of movement. "Gotcha!" Whiskers yowled, gripping his rod tightly. The fish was strong, pulling him forward with surprising force. Whiskers dug his boots into the riverbed, his tail flicking as he fought to keep control. He reeled, adjusting his stance, letting the fish tire itself out. With one final tug, the silver-scaled trout leaped into the air, flashing in the sunlight before landing right into Whiskers' waiting net. The tabby cat let out a victorious laugh, lifting his catch from the water. It wasn't Old Finn, the legendary trout, but it was big enough for a delicious dinner. He patted the fish respectfully and then made his way back to camp, his belly already rumbling at the thought of a freshly cooked meal. At his campsite, Whiskers prepared his fire, stacking wood and striking a match until warm flames crackled to life. He cleaned the fish with skill, seasoning it just right with a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon from his camping supplies. He placed it on a small skillet over the fire, the smell of sizzling fish filling the air as he hummed happily to himself. As the sun dipped below the trees, casting a golden glow over the river, Whiskers sat back on a log, his tail curling contentedly around his paws. He took a bite of the perfectly cooked trout, savoring the crispy skin and tender meat. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky. With a full belly and a satisfied smile, Whiskers gazed out at the river, already dreaming of his next big catch. Because tomorrow, there would always be another fish to reel in.